Hey guys, this is Introducing Emmy, and we're back with another Redline Tuesday. This time it's from Doodling is me, deviantart.com, also known as Savannah, and she sent us this Naga girl to work on, so that is what we're going to do. And actually, I just had a moment. I can't remember, I remember there's something like the Naga is a girl and the boy is something else, or vice versa. I can't remember. It doesn't really matter, but just thinking of that. So, first things first, let's start with the torso. And I'm just gonna put down some markers. Remember to always draw through your figure, so there's hair here, but draw that shoulder anyway. So, do you see how much this shoulder is covered by the breasts and, you know, the foreground of the body? So like the torso is kind of like overlapping the arm a little bit. It should be the same over here as well. Now you don't need to mirror it. They should look related, but not exactly the same. They should be sisters, but not twins. I'm actually going to adjust that a little bit. And I will most likely be flipping this at some point, and I know some folks really don't like when I flip my work, but it just makes things a little easier for me. So there is our torso. And so you've got like a little turn going on here. 1 second. Let me turn off this text. It's going to be a little distracting if I keep seeing it pop up. Okay. So you've got like a little swivel over here. So like the badonk, the butt is sticking out this way, whereas this is more like the front of the thigh over here, or what would be the thigh in a person. So to enhance that even more, I'm just gonna kind of draw like where the little belly is. Like girls, when you see us from the front, we tend to have like a double belly, like that's where our belly button is. Whereas guys are usually like flatter and their belly button's somewhere like that. Girls have like a little, I'm not sure what you call that. I know guys can get it too, but girls have it we have it by the bucket load, and I know it has something to do with like childbearing or something. I don't know. I'm not having kids, so I don't need to know that. But okay. I'm just thinking. I am going to go a little lower here just to give myself some working room in case I need to like drop the whole tail structure down. Okay, so right now I've only drawn kind of like the baudet. Oops. Help if I wasn't trying to draw it in white. I am going to drop this down a little more. I noticed that you were kind of doing like a little bit of I think you were trying to do like a knee, like you could see how like far down this goes, that it almost could become a leg. So like that almost. But when I draw mermaids or centaurs. Well, centaurs not a good example, but yeah, like mermaids or serpent girls or nagas or basically anything that drops down into like a completely different lower body. I try to stay away from having the legs extend down into what will essentially become their new legs. So let's do like I'm just thinking. So I'm going to actually go over your old tail and then I'll move it down. You guys have seen me do that before. So let's draw some lines here just to help me. Little guidelines. So this is going to be our spine on our snake. Actually, Jamie's scratching my face, doing a little think. So this line here is going to be like background tail, and this line here is foreground tail. So this part here, this like curve, this actually needs to come down more like here so that she can more comfortably reach for her own tail. So let's, if you've ever gotten a chance to see a snake skeleton, it's very cool, but they have a spine and then they have like their ribs like that. I have a friend who's really into snakes and she's gonna scream at me for like how not well drawn this is, but that's kind of like the general idea. Okay, I'm actually going to make let's try to find a different color here. I'll just make these like a light blue. I know you can probably barely see that, but that's kind of the point. Okay. And then so I also like to think of a snake's body as being sort of like if you were to like look dead on at them, it's a little bit of like a pentagon sort of shape. So here's like the spine, or yeah, the spine, sorry, I'm having a moment. The rib cage, and then all their gooey organs and whatever in there. It looks like Mickey Mouse is inside his stomach. Now, it's obviously more rounded, but, you know, they do have like a structure. They're not like just a tube, you know. It's very easy to think of them like that, but to make sure that they look all nice and plumpled and have a structure. Now, I mean, honestly, you're drawing like a not real creature at all. You know, it's like a it's a naga. I mean, it's like a fantastical creature. So I guess honestly, you could do it however you wanted to do it. But I say plump up your snake. Give that snake some anatomies. And depending on what kind of snake you're drawing, so like, let's say she had like an emerald tree boa bottom, as opposed to say like a rattlesnake bottom. That sounds like I'm talking about her butt. She has a really long butt, I guess, a snake butt. That might have like a totally different structure. You'd have to go like look up some pictures. I'm doing just kind of like your typical ploppy, fat snake. Okay, so here I've made like a little bit of an error. See how this has gotten thin and then it gets fat again over here? So what I'm going to have to do is kind of like rethink my structure a little bit. Also, I'm sorry that this is kind of like all contour so far. I haven't really done like a lot of understructure, but a lot of times I do put down lines like this. I have aliens that have tails, and I kind of they're reptilian, so I kind of build their tails like this. Excuse me. It is very windy here today in California, so I apologize if you can hear it blowing and howling outside. I just got in from a walk and I've got like a really dry throat now. It's so windy, but it's like a warm wind. I'm not used to that. In Pennsylvania, it's always just freezing. Anything that like anytime it's windy, it's just cold. There we go. I'm actually going to change my eraser here so that it matches my brush. And now to cheat, because that is too fat. There we go. It takes a little time and working on it, but you'll get it. Okay. So now I actually am going to move the tail part down to just give her a little more room to hold herself up with. And I also don't want her hitting that mark so hard. So let's try to blend her upper body into like a more gentle, snaky form so that she's not like bending at a knee, sort of like she's not. Take a knee, kid. Another thing that would really help to sell this. Also, I made her tail a little longer so that it doesn't end inside like her silhouette. Like I wanted the tail to stick out a little bit just so you can like see the end of her tail. Like it reads a little oh wow. There's like police sirens and firefighting. I can hear like all kinds of noise outside. I don't know if the microphone will pick it up, but it sounds like a zombie apocalypse is happening right outside my window. Um, but anyway, so to just to give her a slightly more interesting silhouette, to try to like have that tail like end outside of her silhouette, so that the tail has kind of like its own thing going on. I'm still not totally happy with this over here, and I'm not sure what I could do to really make myself happy with that over there, but anyway, one thing I was going to say to really help sell this, and I'll pick a different color here, is to have the scoots come up and maybe like do some kind of interesting thing there with them. I don't know, you'd have to kind of, you can do whatever you want with that, but snakes have these little belly scales called scoots. I think those are the scoots because they scoot on them. But having that kind of like come up and under will help sell this more as like her, you know, rearing up to say, "How y'all doing? I'm a snake. Hiss." I actually don't think I should know this. I own a snake. I'm actually not sure how much of the scooties you can see from that angle. But anyway, that's just like a little thing you could do to help that all sell a little better. Okay. So I'm gonna go over her face and then do her arms and her bosoms, and I think that'll be it, really. I could honestly just mess with this tail all day and probably never be totally happy with it. Okay, I'm gonna have to leave it alone. I think putting a shadow under here helps it kind of sell a little better for me anyway. I like, at the end of the day, I can't spend forever on these red lines, but there's always like a few things that I'm just like about, you know, that I could just spend forever on. But anyway, okay. Leave it alone, Emmy. Leave it alone. So the breasts are drawn really nice. Be pleased with yourself because it's usually something people have a hard time with. Okay. Also, you know, people are always like, ooh, you know, about, well, not you guys, I've never heard you say anything about it, but, you know, every now and then you hear people be like, you know, oh, why would you, you know, draw the whole way through, because now they look like water balloons. Well, obviously you don't want to finish them like that. You wouldn't ink over top of this and be like, boob, you know, like that. But you want to know like how high these shapes go, because that's part of making it look like a sound object. You know what I mean? Like making it look like it has weight and emotions and feelings like boobs do. So always draw through your shapes. Okay. So I'm actually going to make everybody yell at me, but I'm going to turn my paper. And I'm actually going to go to a new layer just for now, so I'm not too distracted by the shoulders and everything. And I will try not to emify this head too much. Okay. So I'm not sure if these are like eyebrows or little hornies or whatever. They're cool though, I like them. Just make sure they're even. Let's draw the socket for the eye. Our nose. Make sure that if you're drawing, well, any type of eye really. So let's go over here and I'll just draw an eye real quick. Remember that this is a curved surface. So even when you're just drawing like a typical like round cartoon eye or whatever, that it still isn't like just a dot sitting on the surface, or like a dot sitting inside the socket. Make sure that it's like a little oblong, like it has a little bit of a roundness to it. It's hard to use like 3D words when you're talking about 2D shapes, but if you understand what I'm saying, that it needs to curve a little bit. It needs to follow that surface that you're trying to create through the illusion of drawing. But even with a snake eye, like a slit, it needs to curve a little bit. I don't know if that actually made it any easier to see. Just putting it back on the multiply filter. Now, the Savannah, the artist, did not ask for the face to be done. The only reason I'm doing it is because I usually do the entire figure at this point in my red lines. And it's for all of you out there in TV land. Okay. So I'm going to give just a little more curve to her cheek. Just because she has such a curvy body, and I sort of want her face to feel it too. Now, the original artist might see this and be like, nope, and that's totally fine. This is just me having some fun. So, you know what? And let's have some even more fun. Because I'm the boss. I get to choose our fun. So let's draw the throat back here. And I'll just color that in. Let's draw a glottis, which is like the scent organ. You see it in the back of a snake's mouth. And then underneath that, we'll do the tongue. Okay? Now, the tongue does not come out of the glottis. Like, it doesn't come out of that hole in the back, so don't do that. Now, from this angle, you wouldn't actually be able to see the other ear, so I'm going to leave that off. And the ear ends at about the nose, so the earring would actually be more like, I'll keep it the same size, the earring would be there, and then the, well, I'm not sure if this is the eyebrow. I'm trying to think what to call this, but whatever this mark is, this is sort of like the illusion of our eyebrow. So this would be where the top of the ear is. Okay. Let's actually try to get the earring to look like it's hanging off of the earlobe. Okay. Let's do the haar. Look at this beautiful shapy haar. I love it. Shapy hair for everybody. I love shapy hair. Okay. Now, I like to get pretty wild with my hair. I like to really exaggerate. Now, you'll notice I build a lot of times with straight lines, but then I'll come through and I would like round this out, like when it comes time for inking. It's just that when I'm moving fast, I guess I just like to get that shape in there, however it may come about. So like here, I would round this out, you know, so ignore my straight lines, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's just like when you're trying to get an idea down, I usually just, you know, do whatever line is comfortable in that position, and then I'll come back later and I'll straighten this all out. Okay. She's cute, isn't she? She's a cute little button. I want about 20 of her. Nom nom nom. I'm a huge fucking dyke. Sorry. I love me some girlies. Okay. So then let's put the head on the body. Yeah, I think that I'm just actually going to leave it where it is. I think it looks okay. And I don't mind her having a long neck because, I mean, it's a little long. It's not ridiculous or anything. I don't mind her having a long neck, though, because she's a snake girl. Snake girls get to have long necks. Snake girls get whatever they want. So pretty. Sorry, that's a me thing. I have to put like a little shadow in there. I don't know if I like that. Do you hear my grumble? I don't like that the hair kind of follows the contour of the shoulder now because I changed it. I don't know. I'll let it be, but that could get a little funky in there. Okay, so now we're gonna do the arms, and then that'll be that. That'll pretty much be that. This is going a little long, but not too bad. I'm just gonna sort of trace this so you can see where I had these arms ending. Okay. So when I first saw this, I was a little confused what you were trying to do here. And I know like there is a lump at the base of your wrist. Like I understand that. But that doesn't really, especially in a style like this, you wouldn't really see that unless you were, say, doing a hand that was, you know, bent down kind of like this. Then you get like this little kind of platform thing, and there you might be able to see a little bit of that wrist action. But for so like if the hand was sort of bent like that, you would be able to see that protrusion more. But for I think what you're going for, you wouldn't really be able to see that too much. That's okay though, don't worry. Don't worry about it. So let us step in a little closer. Okay. If you want to leave the fingers like kind of flayed out like this, you dare. I'm not gonna tell you not to. But if you want to get a little, maybe a little fancy fingered here, let's first kind of do a little knuckle layout. This will just kind of be like our knuckle markers. That'll be like the gap between our fingers. Does that really help at all? I set it to multiply to see if you guys can see it any better, but I don't think it really. I don't think it really does much. Pinkies up! Snake lady. Where's Snake lady? Pinkies go up. No, I don't know. I'm just being fun. Just being fun. Okay. Then same deal here. what's nice is if you wanted to be a cheaty snake, you could just do something like this, especially if you're working digitally. You can do this, how would you say, traditionally with like a photocopier and stuff. We used to do this all the time in animation, but it's definitely easier with a computer. Just making a dev. Then all you have to do is just erase stuff that kind of overlaps or, you know, whatever. I would actually get rid of this thumb and just hide it, like pretend like it's folded down. So, and let's since we have the pinky up on the other one, let's pinky down this one, okay? There you go. Slam bam, thank you, ma'am. So another quick thing is I noticed you have like, you've drawn sort of like the second knuckle, or if, you know, if you're doing like simplified cartoon hands, it's like the only, like the mid knuckle. A lot of times in animation or with cartoony characters, we just draw like that. We don't do all three because then it starts looking a little too real and it kind of breaks away the illusion of the character a little bit. But anyway, what I just wanted to say is her hands are almost like too overly detailed, and I mean that's saying something because there's really not a lot of lines here. So if you can at all simplify, like don't do too many, I'm gonna leave some of this. Yeah, I don't need to leave it there. Just rewind the video if you want to see what that looked like. The magic of YouTube. You don't want a lot of detail on her fingers, save for maybe a nail, because she's not an overly detailed character, and that's not a bad thing. What I'm saying is that she doesn't carry like a lot of lines on her body, and it makes her all the more graceful and easy on the eyes. You know, she looks cute and it's adorable. So like you sort of want that reflected in the other body parts. You want your level of detail spread evenly, like a nice piece of buttery toast. I'm hungry. So and gosh, she is cute. I would love to finish this drawing. I'm like kind of in love with this character a little bit. Everybody's like fearing sending me art now because I developed like these horrendous crushes on everybody's characters. I'm actually gonna put some yellow. But yeah, nothing gets me going like a well-drawn character. The reason I'm putting yellow here is just so y'all can see it. Oh, look at this. Out. Looks like she's wearing yellow gloves, but that's just so you can see, can I do soft light? Is there some way I can, but now you can't see the lines, I'm not happy. I'm sorry, this is turning into like a whole big thing. Alright, we'll just do normal for now. Unless... Now why wouldn't that just paste back into place? Photoshop. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, that works. So now you can kind of see through the figure and everything. You see your hands and all. And I should probably remove this because Foreground T kind of looks like a bad word. Foreground tail. Looks like a naughty word. I didn't realize that. I apologize. Okay. Now, isn't that nice? She's adorable. I am totally in love with this character. I will not take her from you, but make sure she leaves her dance card open for me. I love her. I love her to bits and bobs. She got a cute tummy and cute boobs and everything. Yeah, so the big thing I did was I just lowered her tail a little bit more. I think that was like the biggest thing she really needed was just to come up off of like her pseudo-human knees a little bit, and that sort of makes it even makes her like a little plumper looking. Like she looks more structurally sound. I don't know, like she looks more like believable in that she could be like a real like Naga, like coming like rearing up on her her haunchies. Sorry, this is like the never-ending battle of the tail. I don't know why, but that really bothers me. Like just this little schmutz over here. Maybe if I get rid of that, that will make me feel a little happier. A teens. It did make me feel a teens happier. But anyway. I was more concerned about this over here. Like making sure she's like bending up a little more gracefully and everything. But yeah, what an adorable character. Use her forever. She's amazing. And shapy hair. A++ on shapy hair. And yeah, so that is going to be it for this one. So let's thank Savannah, who is doodling-is-me.deviantart.com. Also known as Savannah. And what else? Yeah, I might ask her permission to ink this and finish it. Maybe I'll do it on camera for you guys if she lets me, because I like really am just so in love with this character. What else? Oh yes, so keep sending your Redline Tuesdays to me. My email address is emy.bitner@introducingEmy.com. It's on my YouTube banner, so it's really easy to find. It's like all over the place. I'm not hard to miss. Just put Redline Tuesday in the subject and attach the drawing. It has to be your drawing. You can't send me somebody else's drawing. It has to be yours. Just send it to my email with any references or anything that you want me to look at, you know, to go with the drawing, and I'll do that for you. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.